Hey guys, it's me again. So check it out. Oh yeah, by the way, my name's Slender. I do various videos on all kinds of fun stuff. You know, New World, Lost Ark, updates, news updates. So if you're interested in any of that, I'm usually right on top of all the updates, the latest news, big forum topics. But anyway, today I've got something a little bit different for you, and we're gonna jump right into it. So if you are having trouble, which I know you are, with this boss right in here, his name is Neishatun. He's like Scylla's boyfriend, and I could see why she left him, because he is an asshole. And he's gonna wipe your group over and over and over unless you get these things right here down. First of all, you don't have to do this for the entire fight, but if you want to beat him and you notice people are consistently getting hit by those ground circles of fire, this is what you want to do. And you don't have to have this set up the whole fight, the whole entire fight, but you're going to want to, or I'm sorry, for the whole dungeon, but you absolutely 100% need to do this for that fight. You need to go to settings, and shout out to my man Sap for telling me this. And you need to go to visuals, and you need to crank this bad boy up all the way. Now it takes a little bit to get used to, look at that, but you could see so much more. So I'm all the way zoomed out, okay? Now watch this. When you have it on the default setting, this is you, all the way zoomed out. Now guess what happens when you have a bunch of circles spawning around you? You can only see like one. So you think you may see a safe spot, but it's just another circle, you know? So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna hit escape, go to settings, go to visuals, and crank that up, and look what happens. Boom. You can now see the entire floor, and you know exactly where to run and where it's safe. So field of view is a must, absolute must for this boss fight. Just doing this alone, you'll probably succeed. I shouldn't even have to go any further. But once you do that, you're set. You can see every single circle. You know exactly where to run so you don't get hit. And I'm going to explain what I'm talking about. I'm going to play some footage of the fight right now for you guys. And we're going to go step by step how to beat this super easy but super frustrating boss. And there's some good loot. Look at this loot really quick. I got this life staff, Blackguard's life staff, Blackguard's musket. So when you upgrade these, you're going to get some really good perks, because these do upgrade to legendary. This one was just a 594, and I upgraded it just to see what that third perk was. Blackguard's great axe, look at that, keen trenchant recovery. Third perk's probably going to be amazing. Blackguard's ice gauntlet, plague strikes, keen. Next perk's probably going to be amazing. So you get some really good loot, and it drops at a decent item level, even though, I mean, this is still a level 60 dungeon, don't forget. So anyway, to the fight. So step number 1, equip as many fire resistance or fire mitigation, burn damage stuff that you can on your gear. It's going to help a lot. This whole fight, you're going to be taking fire damage, and that's number 1. Number 2 is the red circles on the ground. You'll see what I'm talking about. Anybody watching this video has probably already done this fight, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. If anybody stands in one of those circles, when it hits, you're going to get a dot. It's a permanent stacking debuff. So every time you get hit by one of those fire circles, you're going to get one of these dots, and it's going to stack, and it's going to do fire damage to you the entire fight. So if you get one stack, you might be able to live with it, but if everybody gets hit by it, it's just too much work for the healer, and you're not going to succeed. So it is absolutely imperative that you dodge and get out of those circles. It's going to start as a small circle, and it's going to grow. And once it reaches its full diameter, and again, you're going to know what I'm talking about, just like when you're taking a point on at a war, or if you're taking a point in OPR of that circle, once it gets to its full size, it's going to explode, and you're going to get that dot. And again, it's going to be with you until the end of the fight. So it's imperative that you avoid those. And the best way to do that is by increasing or maxing out your field of view in your settings. Just like I showed in the beginning of the video, you have to. All right, so number 2, you need to watch this guy's tail. Every once in a while, he's going to basically slam his tail down, and it's going to one-shot most of you guys. So it's best to do this fight with as many range as you can get. Melee is going to have a tough time, and you know, you just always healer, make sure you're standing all the way back. Watch his tail. That tail hurts. It is nasty, big damage. So as a melee, it's going to be tough. Just keep dancing around him and try to avoid that at all costs. Number 3, he's going to be marking somebody. And when you get this mark above your head, it's going to mean one of two things. Either A, he's going to shoot multiple projectiles at you, and all you have to do is just keep moving left and right. You don't even have to dodge. You can avoid them. It's pretty easy, and they don't do much damage. But of course, you know, you're going to want to make it as easy as you can on your healer. So if you get marked above your head, watch for those. He's going to start attacking you. The other thing that happens when you get the mark over your head is he's going to shoot out this straight line in front of him, these like ground spikes, and that does hurt. That hits you very hard. So you're going to want to be ready to dodge. So basically, anytime you get this marking above your head and he chooses you, just get ready to dodge regardless. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So just be careful with that. Anytime you get marked, just dodge. Melee classes, this is another one for you guys. It sucks, but you're gonna have to deal with it. Every once in a while, after the second phase of the fight, I believe, he's gonna start jumping in the air and slamming down. Not his tail, he just does this like ground pound or this ground attack, and it usually one-shots everybody that's standing around except for the tank. So get ready for him to do that. You'll see his animation wind up, and you know, get the heck out of there because it's gonna hurt. So if you guys get hit by that, you're probably gonna die. Now, another really important thing to remember is the bomb. Every once in a while, after the circles are on the ground and after that phase is done, and he's gonna do this multiple times throughout the fight, he's gonna summon this like circular sphere, that's redundant. More like it almost looks like a portal, but I just call it the bomb. So whenever you see this bomb, the whole team needs to stop what they're doing and attack it as soon as possible. It doesn't have very much health at all, but if your whole team is not attacking it, it's probably gonna explode. Now the explosion doesn't do much damage, but it is raid wide. Everybody's gonna get hit by it. And the problem is the whole team is gonna get that fire debuff, that dot, and that's really bad. So huge, absolutely huge. When that bomb or when that portal summons, you have got to stop what you're doing, mark it, ping it, let people know, and you need to DPS it down as fast as possible. This is the worst possible thing that can happen in this fight, is you don't DPS that down fast enough and the whole team gets that dot. It is the worst thing that can happen. So that is number 1 priority. Get that bomb down immediately. Now, another thing I want to touch on is in the beginning, you know, the first phase where he starts summoning all the circles, it doesn't apply. But every phase after that where you see the circles, you're going to want to stay together as a team because you're going to start getting adds that spawn in. And if you're separated from the healer or you only have a few guys that are still alive, you're going to need heals. And if the healer's on one side of the map and you guys are on the other, it's going to be really tough to survive. So after the first phase, after the first set of ground, you know, fire circles, every phase after that where you get those circles, just make sure you stay with the healer as much as you can. And in tanks, you're going to want to take leaping strike or whatever it's called for this fight. I've seen it save so many people. Melee, you know, have a rapier, you know, have whatever you can to really dodge. But again, as long as you have your FOV settings to max, you really don't need to use it. But the leaping strike, I can't count how many times I've seen the tank use that last second and get out of that circle. So just a couple tips for you. Now, another similar thing to the Scylla fight this fight has is the edge. Make sure you're staying away from the edge. You can get knocked off. There's a bunch of things that can hit you. Even the mobs that spawn can knock you off. So just be cautious of it. You know, be aware of your surroundings and just make sure you're never standing on the edge. I actually almost fell off and I caught the edge and pulled myself back up. But yeah, stay off the edge, guys. Very bad spot. So last thing before we wrap this up is ads. Make sure you get the ads down as quickly as you can. They're going to eventually, you know, take over the map. It's just going to be too much for everybody. You're going to be watching for the ground circles. You're going to be watching for his attacks. You're going to be watching for the mark above your head. The ads are just something that you don't need. So as soon as the ads spawn, as soon as the trash starts spawning, make sure you take care of that. And everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. If you get all these things down, you guys are going to get this fight done, no problem. And if anybody has any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer them. So that's all I've got for you guys. Good luck and have a great day.